Hey, welcome back to Outperform. My name is Coach Jules, and today we're going to talk about the development of maximal and relative strength, okay? So if you saw my first video on explaining with the chart of the principles and the protocols that you need for developing maximal and relative strength, today I'm going to go over actually some set examples of sets and reps. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Okay, so when we're developing maximal and relative strength, that means we are working in parameters of getting stronger, but we're not trying to induce any muscle hypertrophy, okay? One of the things that we want to work on is we want to make sure that we understand that we're going to be using a training rep max, okay, or a rep training max, which means if you have, say, a squat of 300 pounds as your ultimate max, and I prescribe you a workout to do 10 sets of one, it is not fucking humanly possible for you to do 10 sets of one with your max, okay? You'll do your max once, and when that's it, that's your max. You can't do no more. You're fried out in your nervous system. That's as much you can push. If you back off the sets, you can. So what you want to do is create a training rep max, or rep training max, whatever. So you could take, say, 5% off of that, and then that would be now your new training max, and that would be the 100% mark, okay? So if that helps you understand. And if I confused you, well, I'm pretty good at that. You just ask my wife. I'm pretty good at confusing people. All right, now, one thing you also need to know that this system is only for sets and reps between 1 to 5. You only have these reps, okay? Now, in order to develop this type of strength, I highly recommend at the bare minimum that you have at least 1 year of training under your belt. Now, 1 year of training under your belt means that you understand the science of tempo, okay? And controlled movements. If you do not know what I'm talking about, then you are clearly not lifting correctly, and that's another video. So, you need to have at least, at a minimum, 1 year of training. Optimal would be 2 years of training with the science of tempo added inside your system. And then from there, you can now have more likely a neurological effect and good nervous system to now handle loads between 5 and 1 rep. Now, let's talk about the percentages. If we are in 1 rep, we are in the 100% range. Okay? If we are in the 2 reps, we are most likely anywhere between the 98% to 94 range. All right? If we're working with 3 reps, we are anywhere between the 94% range and 90%, okay? If you're gonna be working with sets of 4 reps, you're gonna be in the 90% to 88% range, all right? And then last but not least, if you're doing sets of 5, you will be anywhere between the 88% range and 85%. Now, this is just to help you understand where you're at and to help you structure your program more efficiently. I know that if I'm going to be doing sets of 5, like the wonderful 5x5 method, I'm going to be most likely using 88% to 85% while working in that rep parameter, okay? People have a bad habit of, well, I'm going to do the 5x5 method, Reg Park, dude. And they're using the same fucking weight they were using for 8 reps. It doesn't work that way. It's separated for a reason, okay? So you need to follow these protocols. Now, to be honest with you, the majority of this won't even have this in here. 5 is really more in the functional strength protocol, okay? Now, It's used in the charts because it's a very iffy balance, and it depends on the type of person, how they respond to training. If you more of a fast twitch dominant type of person, you actually respond better to low reps compared to high reps and so on. It's another video. Anyway, let's go over some of the systems that can be used. Okay, so now we got this out the way. Let's explain everything. All right, so let's talk about ramping. All right. Ramping to 1 rep, 2 reps, or 3 reps. It doesn't matter. It's all done the same way, okay? Ramping means that you're gonna take a couple of warm-up sets, which should be only 4 to 6 max, okay? Warm-up sets. And that warm-up set needs to be identical to the movement that you're doing. So if we're squatting, I'm gonna work up from a low 60%, staying still. If I'm doing sets of 1, I'm just gonna do 1 rep. I'm gonna stay in that parameter. And then I'm gonna continue to work myself up higher and higher and higher until I feel like I'm getting into that 94 to 98%, that 95 to 100%, 98% rep range for 1 rep that we talked about earlier. Now, ramping means that you need to work your way up, okay? So regardless, however you choose to do it, if you're ramping for 1 rep, you're ramping for 2 reps, or you're gonna ramp for 3 reps, it's gonna be the same method. You're gonna use 4 to 6 sets to warm up. So 4 to 6 sets of, let's say we ramp into 1 rep. For 1 rep, okay? That's your warm up. Now, once we got into our 95% range, well, actually 98% range because we're in 1 rep, that 7th set needs to be at 98%. Why does it have to be at 98%? Because we are working in ramping. We're getting to 1 reps, okay? If we're gonna use 1 rep on our set, we have to make sure that we're using the appropriate amount of intensity and weight to stimulate our nervous system to do 1 rep. If I'm doing 1 rep and I'm using as little as 80% of my max capacity in training, it doesn't do anything for me neurologically. I'm wasting my time actually in the gym, okay? So you need to work up to that 98% for 1 rep. Now, we've got to set 7, all right? These don't count, they're warm-ups. Don't tell me you did, I did 30 sets today, bro. No, you didn't. You did 6 sets of warm-ups, all right? If you go back to the other video on protocols on strength training for developing maximal and relative strength, I'd said that you need 9 to 18 reps, okay, done on that muscle group. All right, so let's just take 9, all right? So 7, set 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So now I'd have to go for a total of 16 sets. Including the warm-up, to get 9 reps. Okay? So, just so you understand, because time's running out, and Instagram's not gonna let me post the video too much longer. These sets really don't count. Set 7 all the way to 16, that gives me my 9 reps. That's what I need for ramping up to 1 rep. It goes for the same thing for ramping for 2 reps or 3 reps. Stay tuned for part 2.